Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to the DNF Book Tag. I will link all the questions in the creator down below, but let's get into the questions. The first one is, do you DNF? And my answer is a big fat yes. In the past I didn't, and I pushed through books. I think that was because I did a lot of English and literature classes at school, and to read those books and to talk about them properly, we had to push through the ending, and I distinctly remember forcing myself through Frankenstein and hating it, so I didn't want to continue that experience with reading books that I like, because we're supposed to enjoy books. It's a hobby. So I have embraced DNFing books, and I've gotten quite good at it recently, because you'll probably notice in my reading vlogs that I tend to DNF a book if I don't like it. I try and give it 10% or 20% or 100 pages depending on the book before I DNF it, but sometimes I just DNF the book at like 12 pages. So there's not necessarily a rhyme or reason except my subjectivity. So yes, I do DNF books. The second question is, if you DNF a book, does it count towards your page count or your reading for that month? I don't know how to quite answer that in terms of answering the question properly, but I'll try and answer it in the way that I understand it. And that is, I don't count it towards my Goodreads reading goal because I haven't completed the book, so it doesn't count towards my total. And I guess that means that I don't count it towards the page count either, because Goodreads won't include it if I don't mark it as finished. So no, I don't count it towards my overall total for the end of the year or in general, because if I haven't finished it, then it's kind of cheating. Question number 3 is there a difference between DNF and just putting it down for a bit? I don't actually think I mentioned what DNF means. It just means did not finish. So I count that as completely deciding not to finish a book. There is a difference to me by putting a book down and not finishing it, because I've done that with a few series like The Bone Witch. I wanted to continue reading it, but I had to DNF the second book because it had been too long in between me reading the first book to picking up the second, and I didn't remember what happened. So sometimes in rare instances, I will DNF a book rather than just DNFing a book, if that makes sense, without the quotes or not. And The Bone Witch would count towards that question. I think I've answered the question. Have I? Yes, there's a difference. Question number 4 is, what popular book have you DNF'd? I actually have a whole video about this coming. I have a popular series that I've DNF'd, and that would be the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I read books 1 and 2 and I stopped reading for what book 3 would be. I gave the first book 2 stars, I gave the second book a 3 to 4 stars, and it's just not a series for me, so I stopped reading it. The next question is, what book do you wish you had DNF'd? Frankenstein, from when I was like 16 and studying literary studies. Countless books that I probably read for class at university or / college. I liked reading The Great Gatsby, but at the time of reading it, I found it quite dry. I'm not into classics, but after I read it and then after I wrote an essay on it, I'm glad I read it. So yes, I wish I DNF'd it, but also I'm glad I didn't. I would say popular books. Like, I did read Malice recently by John Gwynne, and that is a high fantasy that is the first in a quartet of books, and it was more than 600 pages long, and I only gave it a 3 stars. And if I'm investing time in a book that's more than 600 pages, I want it to be a higher rating than 3 stars. So I probably should have DNF'd it, but I just felt like I had to finish it because it's the first in a series, and I mostly read fantasy on my channel, so I felt obligated to have a full opinion about why I was not going to continue the books, and I finished it. I gave it 3 stars, and now I have an opinion about why I didn't want to finish the books. It's in a vlog, it's in a wrap-up, I'll link them below. Question number 6 is, have you ever attempted to reread or retry a book that I've DNF'd, and has this worked for me? I don't think I have actually, and that might be something worth investigating in the future. Maybe I just wasn't in the right mood, or maybe it just was the wrong time to pick up a particular book. Maybe it was the wrong format, like I ended up DNFing The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and I know that that's a book that a lot of people have loved. It's kind of in the same vein as the show Good Omens, and I didn't love the tone of that just because, I don't know, it just didn't connect with my personal enjoyment factor for some reason. So I think if I reread The House on the Cerulean Sea or In the Cerulean Sea, I would pick up the physical book, because I tried the audiobook and I've since seen reviews say that the audiobook wasn't that great. So I tend to agree with that because I didn't like the narration of it and it didn't seem to fit the vibe or the tone of the book. So I should probably read that physically. The only reason I haven't is because it's expensive and my library doesn't have it. So that is one that I'm probably going to put off for a little while longer. The next question, question 7, is what do you do with books that you DNF? Most of the time I just donate them to my local charity shop, or if I have a friend that I know likes the books or wants to read the series, I will send them a message and ask if they want me to put it aside, and then I'll post it to them. Most of the time though, I just donate the books. I can't be bothered posting them off most of the time because it's just time and energy. But if I know that a friend of mine will like the book, then I send it off to them. Question number 8 is an interesting one. It is, do you choose more or less risky titles because of your stance on DNFing? No, I just think I choose books that I think I will enjoy, and when I don't enjoy them, I try and find out why I don't connect with them subjectively. Is it the pace? Is it the plot? Is it the characters? Is it the genre even? So no, I don't pick books that I think I'm going to DNF. I pick books that I hope I will enjoy, whether they are risky or not. I've read mostly books in the genres that I want, and I did DNF a couple of books during September, so I'll link that vlog below, and I did an unhaul as well, but hopefully I pick up books that I enjoy. The aim is to enjoy books, not DNF them, because we read as a hobby and it's got to be fun, right? And then question number 9 is tag 5 booktube buddies or however many people you want. I don't usually tag people, so if you want to do this tag, I'll leave all the questions down below so it's easy for you. But a few channels that I really like watching are Reagan from Peruse Project, Kate from Kate's Book Date, Yasmina from Yasmina, and of course, you know, Murphy, Daniel, Green. So I don't think they really do book tags, but they're tagged, I guess, if they want to be. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will talk to you down in the comments, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.